Hey friends, welcome back to Simple Homesteading. Today we're going to continue our series on meals in a jar, and today we're going to be looking at making cheesy potato soup. So again, we're going to start with a quart jar. Now if you remember in our last video, I used a quart jar but said that a pint and a half jar probably would have worked better. This one's going to take probably just about all of the quart jar. And so you want to make sure you have a quart jar, make sure you've got your funnel that fits on here nice and tight. I would suggest maybe having some other utensils ready depending on what you've got to put all of your stuff into the jar. So let's go ahead and start with the ingredients, and then we'll talk about some things at the end. You want to first start with 1 1/3 cup of soup base. Now if you remember, we're quickly working our way down towards the soup base that we made already. We're going to go through this and probably get about 5 or 6 meals out of the soup base. So 1 1/3 cups of soup base. Now while I'm putting this in, let me go ahead and say that we're going to try to put the loose ingredients, like these powders and things, towards the bottom. Now, this soup has a lot of powders in it, and we're going to talk about why that's going to make a big difference or a big deal in the end as we seek to vacuum pack this. If you remember from our last video that we said you could put all the powders on the bottom and then put your larger ingredients on the top, like your macaroni noodles, and still run your vacuum sealer like your food saver with the attachment for the top, whether that's a wide mouth attachment or a regular mouth attachment. You could put all your noodles on the top, all your powders on the bottom, and then vacuum pack that without any concern that you might end up ruining your vacuum packer. Today, maybe not so much. We're going to probably use our vacuum packer. We'll tell you why here in just a moment. But if you still feel uncomfortable with that, remember, you can end up taking a oxygen absorber and putting 1 or 2 of those in, and it will also end up vacuum packing your jar. So 1 1/3 cup of soup base, and because this is cheesy potato soup, we're going to have 1/2 cup of cheese powder. Now again, like I said in my last video on macaroni and cheese, I like my stuff cheesy, so I put just a little bit more in. Remember, all of this is to taste, and so if you can this up and you're like, I could use maybe a little bit more of this flavor than the other, or a little bit less of this flavor, that's okay. This is entirely up to your taste, but we're going to put 1/2 cup of cheese powder in here. And so we'll go ahead and get that put into the jar, working to be careful because I do not want to get this on my wife's nice white tablecloth for our dining room table. We'll get that put in there. Alright. Now we're going to go ahead and continue to put what I deem as the smallest granules of the ingredients, putting these on the bottom because again, we're going to try to vacuum pack this at the end. So we're going to go next with 1 tablespoon of sour cream powder. That is this container over here. As I've mentioned in previous videos, we buy our powders from Hoosier Hill Farms. We get this on Amazon. It's the cheddar cheese powder. You can get these very possibly at some of the stores that you're near. You should check some of your bulk food stores, also stores like Trader Joe's, Whole Foods, things such as that. Maybe even Gordon Foods might have some of this. I mentioned in another video that we also go to a Mennonite bulk food store. They've got a nice deli. They sell a lot of home preserving ingredients and a lot of ingredients like this bulk. And so if you have the ability to be near something like that, we'd encourage you to go there. If you're not sure if you are, just Google it and you'll be surprised at what is around you. All right, the next ingredients are salt, pepper, and garlic powder. Again, we've been doing a lot of our own. We took the garlic that we raised this last year, dried it out, powdered it up, and we've got our own garlic powder. So this is going to be 1/4 teaspoon of each, salt, pepper, and garlic powder. Go ahead and get that in there. We'll go next to now the more coarse ingredients that we're going to put on top that will hopefully allow us to vacuum pack this without any danger to the vacuum packer. 1 tablespoon of Parmesan cheese. Next, 2 cups of potato flakes. We bought just the Idahoan potato flakes. You can get a Walmart brand, a Meyer brand, wherever you're at. You can just get a basic generic brand if you want. Usually you pay what you get what you pay for, and so we kind of went name brand with this. It was already on sale at Meyer when we bought it, so we got a good deal on it anyway. So 2 cups of potato flakes. Now, if you see, this is a little bit more coarse, less likely to get pulled up into the vacuum tube of our vacuum packer. Now we're getting really close to topping out here. You see, we're kind of already topped out. And what we're going to do is we're going to pack this down to get this all in. Look at that. That makes it just to the top. Now I know you want to keep about an inch from the top when you're canning regularly. Not so much when you're doing this. You can get a little closer to the top. Remember, just go ahead and bang that powder down, get it to settle a little bit. Last thing we've got to put in here are 1 to 2 teaspoons of onion flakes. I put a little bit heavy on the onion flakes. Again, we like onions. We took a number of our onions that we didn't use or store, and we went ahead and dehydrated those and chopped those up, and we've got our own onion flakes. So you're going to want 1 to 2 teaspoons of onion flakes also in that container. Again, get that all packed down, and there you go. As we've said in previous videos, we'll go ahead and make this up, and we'll serve this and eat it, and we'll give you feedback on taste, flavor, whether we like that or not. I've had things like this before. We've actually been giving these as a gift. I'm pretty confident we're going to like these. Now remember, with all of these, you're going to take 2 parts to 1. So 2 parts water to 1 part of mix. So you'll pour all of this into a saucepan, or and then you'll put 2 containers of equal amounts of water into the saucepan. Whisk it all really good, and then you'll boil this until it's all rehydrated and ready to eat, and enjoy your meal. Again, thanks for being with us here on Simple Homesteading. We hope you have a great week.
Hey, thanks for being with us today. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Also, share the video as it helps us grow awareness of the channel. Make sure that you leave a comment, because we'd sure love to hear from you and to be able to interact with you. We appreciate you all, and we hope you have an awesome day.